The entire history of the universe, from creation to the end of time, like you have never seen it before. Today, you will witness the colossal history of the cosmos and understand the grand meta-narrative of reality, from the explosive birth of the Big Bang to the final evaporation of the last black hole. Without a doubt, when you finish watching this journey, you will not be the same. You will feel the weight of eternity and your place within it. Of course, this transformation only happens if you step outside of time and open your mind to the grand synthesis. If you have ever felt lost in the sheer complexity of space and time, or struggled to see how the subatomic connects to the galactic, in this video you will finally achieve total comprehension. By the end, I'm sure you will be enlightened by the realization that your existence is a miracle of probability. It all began at the primal source, before the existence of matter, before the ticking of the clock. Before the beginning, there was only the potential for everything. It was a time without origin, a singularity that held the blueprint for every star that would ever burn and every mind that would ever think. In the first second, the laws of the game were set, and the universe was plunged into a race against entropy. In the absolute stillness before time, the primal source ignited. This was the Planck era, a fraction of a second so small it defies human math, yet it held the fury of 1,000,000,000,000 suns. Within this microscopic furnace, the universe underwent a violent, screaming expansion, an inflation that stretched the fabric of reality faster than the speed of light. As the cosmic soup cooled, the fundamental laws of the game were forged in the heat. Gravity, electromagnetism, and the nuclear forces crystallized into existence, setting the stage for every star that would ever burn. In this one transcendent moment of the grand synthesis, the chaotic void was tamed into a structured masterpiece of physics. After the violent cooling of inflation, the universe drifted in a vast, silent shadow known as the Dark Ages. But beneath the veil of hydrogen, gravity was at work, pulling the first clouds of gas into the furnace of creation. Suddenly, the first stars, the massive, pristine Population 3 giants, ignited, piercing the gloom with a brilliance never seen before. These celestial pioneers did more than just bring light. Within their searing cores, they forged the heavy elements, carbon, oxygen, and iron, that would eventually build worlds and pulse through your own veins. In this grand synthesis, the universe transitioned from a cold void into a radiant theater of light, preparing the elements for a story that was only just beginning. As the first stars burned through their nuclear fuel and collapsed, they enriched the dark voids with the heavy elements of life. Now, gravity, the invisible architect of the grand synthesis, began its most ambitious work. Across billions of light years, it pulled together vast threads of dark matter and gas, weaving a cosmic web that stretched across the abyss. This intricate lace of light became the Garden of Galaxies, where massive clusters bloomed like celestial flowers. Within these swirling nurseries, billions of stars found their homes, dancing in a delicate balance of motion and light. In this era, the universe ceased to be a scattered collection of embers and became a majestic, interconnected masterpiece of order and beauty. In the heart of a spinning nebula, the grand synthesis shifted its focus to a singular, violent event. 5 billion years ago, a shockwave collapsed a cloud of stardust, igniting our sun and birthing a chaotic disk of debris. Massive collisions forged the planets in a furnace of fire, but one world emerged as a miracle of probability. This was the rare Earth, positioned in the perfect Goldilocks zone, where water could remain liquid and life could find a foothold. Protected by a magnetic shield and stabilized by a massive moon,
our world became a sanctuary amidst the cosmic desert. It was an impossible stroke of luck, a fine-tuned oasis prepared for the dawn of consciousness in an otherwise silent universe. On this cooling sanctuary, the grand synthesis achieved its most profound mystery. For billions of years, the Earth was a theater of shifting tectonic plates and churning oceans, but deep within the chemical richness of the hydrothermal vents, a spark ignited. Simple molecules, driven by the universe's innate hunger for complexity, organized into the first self-replicating strands. In this breathtaking transition from chemistry to biology, the universe finally woke up. No longer was it merely a collection of silent stones and burning gas. Through the dawn of life, the cosmos began to perceive, to react, and to feel. The story of everything had found its protagonist, a living witness capable of turning cold matter into conscious experience.
As the billions of years of biological trial and error culminated, the grand synthesis produced its most daring anomaly, the Watchers. Emerging from the African savannas, these conscious apes did something no other creature had achieved. They began to outsource their evolution. In a cosmic blink of an eye, stone tools sharpened into digital processors, and the oral traditions of the campfire expanded into a global network of light. This was the great transition, where the slow crawl of DNA was overtaken by the lightning speed of technology. Humanity had become the universe's way of touching itself, wielding the fire of the stars to rewrite the laws of nature. The ascent had begun, but the race against time was only just intensifying. But as the grand synthesis reaches the present moment, we find ourselves at the edge of a terrifying precipice, the Great Filter. For the first time in the history of the universe, a species holds the power of stellar fire in its hands, yet remains shackled by ancient primal shadows. We stand at the ultimate crossroads of the cosmic journey. Will we transcend our terrestrial cradle to become a multi-planetary civilization, spreading the light of consciousness among the stars? Or will we succumb to the same entropy that has silenced 1,000 worlds before us, becoming nothing more than a brief, flickering footnote in the archives of time? The stakes are absolute. The survival of the universe's own self-awareness hangs in the balance. As the grand synthesis pushes beyond the horizon of the present, the vibrant era of starlight begins its long, inevitable decline. In 5 billion years, our sun will swell into a red giant, consuming the rare Earth before collapsing into a white dwarf, a cold, diamond-hard ember. But the universe's light does not vanish all at once. It retreats into the long-lived red dwarfs, the small, frugal stars that will outlast all others. This is the twilight era, where the cosmic furnace slows and the brilliant nebulae of our youth fade into a deep, permanent violet. The universe is growing old, moving from the energetic fire of its beginning toward a final, quiet era of shadows and fading heat. In the profound silence of the deep future, the grand synthesis reaches its penultimate stage. The last red dwarfs have finally flickered out, leaving the cosmos in a state of eternal night. Now only the giants remain, colossal black holes that have swallowed the remnants of once vibrant galaxies. These dark sentinels become the sole masters of the void, warping space and time in a final, lonely dance. For trillions of years, the universe exists in this ghostly state, where the only movement is the slow, agonizing evaporation of these titans through Hawking radiation. It is an era of unimaginable scale and solitude, where the story of matter prepares to dissolve into the absolute nothingness of the final act. In the absolute final act of the grand synthesis, the universe reaches its ultimate transformation.
The colossal black holes have surrendered their mass to the void, and now even the building blocks of reality, the last stray atoms, dissolve into pure cold energy. Time itself loses its meaning as the cosmos enters a state of perfect, unchanging stillness. But in this silent end, the legacy of the story remains. For one brief, brilliant moment, the universe was not just dead matter. It was alive, it was conscious, and it bore witness to its own majesty. Though the curtain falls on a silent stage, the story of everything stands as a triumphal victory of light and meaning over the eternal dark.